What's up, guys? It's Mungovin from BHL Gaming, and I'm here with the Zen Geek, and we are going to introduce you to our world. So let me have Zen introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zen from BHL Gaming. I'm a community admin, and it's good to see all of you guys. I hope you enjoy the show.
Alright, so basically, we're starting off here in our mine. The mine this is basically where it all began. We started off with gathering supplies for over a week just to make sure we had enough supplies to do massive and awesome projects because we didn't want to have to take parts off from doing our big projects to continue to gather more supplies. So right now we're just taking you through the precious minerals and just the dividers through all of our stuff. And we're going to be heading down to our mine soon, and I'll have Zen kind of explain that for you.
So this is our main mine. This is where we spent the bulk of our time, and as you can see, it's really well cleared out. The mine stretches in its entirety, including the branch mines, which are behind Mungovin there as he's walking away, about 200 to 300 blocks by 150 blocks. You can see it's mined in multiple levels. Some of them are 4 to 6 deep. Some of them are just 2 deep. But we spent a long time just mining stone, gems, anything that we can use. These strip mines right here, I call them strip mines. They're branch mines for technicalities. This is where we are really looking for diamonds. We're about, in this branch right here, we're probably about 10 blocks above bedrock. So you're going to find lots of good stuff. Gold, diamonds, lapis, all that good stuff. And these branches go on forever in all directions. Some of our mines run from one end of the map to the other. We really, did everything we could to mine as much stone, which we used a lot of, and also the gems needed to make diamond tools and whatnot. You also have seen a video on our channel about how to mine effectively. This is the mine that was filmed in. So lots of good stuff happening here. We mined about 250,000 stone, just a little less than 250,000 stone. Total in our mine, and as we're going to go up here and you're going to see our next mine, we actually have several. This one became overcome with mushrooms. As Nuckin, this is one of Nuckin's mines. We started signing in 2 controllers and having our second accounts mine for us as well.
Wow.
And he found a cave, and this is what happens over time as the mushrooms start to spread. We light our mines up so we can see. It's hard to see in the complete darkness, so the mushrooms like the light, and they spread like wildfire. As you can see, this is another very large mine that we have here, and over time the mushrooms just spread.
Yeah,
and here's
the second floor of it.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. We'll never run out of mushrooms again. Mushroom stew for everyone.
Days and days of mushroom stew and cave exploring.
Oh, you're gonna get sick of mushroom stew after this.
Alright, so as we're heading up here, we're going to take you over to our other areas of farming. So as you can see here, we have this massive tree farm. We use birch trees because birch trees grow the fastest and they don't branch off like other trees. So they're really good for effective farming. And here we're at our wheat farm, and it's almost automatic. All you do is have to punch out the middle. The water will flow in, collect all of the wheat and the seeds, push it all the way down to the end, and all you have to do is collect these 2 corner spots. And then as you do that, you'll notice that all of your wheat and seeds come down. So it's really convenient because you're not walking on your farm, so you're easily able to replant it, and then you just have to plug it back up with that 1 piece of wool. And we used blue wool and stone just for the decorative purposes. We liked the way that it looked. We're very clean about our things. That's why you'll see a lot of our buildings have refined stone. And this tree farm took over a diamond axe to harvest the entire thing. And the greatest thing about it, it is basically limitless, just because as soon as you'd mine or chop down some of these trees, all the saplings that would fall would be more than the trees themselves. And right here is this giant mud squid spawner, and right here you'll notice that there aren't any squid in it at the moment, but there were squid in there, and a big problem that we had was gathering squid, so we created this giant water cave to hopefully collect some squid inks, and it helped pretty decently.
A little bit, yeah. Jayhawk made this one night when he was left alone on the server. During this competition, I left my Xbox on basically 24/7 and tried to have it available to anybody in the team. And so he built that one night, and it tended to work. It was okay, but squid, are really hard to mine. Other animals, not so much. As you can see here in the channels, this is another thing. Mungavin built this one way early in the project, and it's our animal farm. So you have these channels built up with a little water elevator concept here, and the sheep and the cows and the pigs, they'd fall in, and we were trying to farm wool this way. So they fall in that channel there, and they get pushed down the channel, and they eventually will come to this part, and there's really nowhere else to go. The animals don't fight water current very well, and they're going to end up in this pen. And then we can slaughter them at will and gather whatever resources we need off of them. So it works really well.
Yep. So right now we're heading over to our larger projects. As you'll see here, that is a mob spawner that we built. The spawn rates were decent. It would drop. We were able to get like gunpowder, string, and basically from all the different mobs. But we were really focusing on trying to get some wool, so it wasn't the most effective for our uses.
This is the houses that you see here. This is the neighborhood. Lots of wooden houses. We tried to decorate them, make them look neat. You'll see, all the glass and everything in place, bookcases. There's the skeleton on a futon, or papasan is what I like to call it. And up here you have a nice little skylight area with a nether rack roof. One of these places I guess would be the Red Roof Inn. Other ones are, something else. But the wood houses are nice. They have a really nice look, kind of like log cabins. So we built a bunch of these just to kind of help fill in the village area and decorated them with art. So
yeah, and we tried to make sure each one was unique, just because we didn't like the way that they were. If they'd be all the same, just because it wouldn't be too interesting.
Yeah, you don't want a cookie cutter neighborhood like you see KB Home building all the time. you want unique houses. So yeah, each one was planned out, was kind of unique. Here's the art gallery. We tried to get every single piece of art that's available in Minecraft, and you'll see Street Fighter and other stuff. On the left there is Donkey Kong there. If you didn't catch that.
Yeah, and now we're just basically showing you the rest of our houses that we built here. And Zen, can you kind of explain to them about our other designs?
Yeah, so other designs we have on the map here. You have a nice little fountain. Behind us, as we're going to start walking here, you'll see a barn, and you see a big looming gray thing in the background there. That is our largest project that we've done on the map. That is a pretty close to a 1-to-1 scale reproduction of the Roman Coliseum. It took about 178,000 stone to make, and roughly 300 man-hours of time from all of us. We just spent every waking moment working on this thing, and you can see it's massive. It's 50 blocks tall, 196 by 178 in dimensions as far as the layout on the ground goes. It's all stone, cobble. You'll see some wool in there as well, but for the most part it's stone and cobble. We found this design. I found it on a site called mcschematics.com. Really neat site. They have some good programs to download to use the schematics, and people will publish their designs, and you can download them and put them on your world. And so we did that, and I found this one as I was looking for a really massive project to do, and this really fit the bill. This is the third level, I believe. Yeah, this is level 3. And he's walking around to what I call the south side of the Coliseum. Really in the south side on the map, but as far as orientation goes, that's what it was. And you'll see that we have some tools hanging in the background. One of the things we like to do was pixel art. And so, we really kind of relied heavily on that, and we mined a lot of wool. So I made a full set of tools: sword, pickaxe, axe, shovel, and hoe. He's going to go up to level 4 now. This is a short level. You'll notice you see a lot of cobble. In the original design, if you actually find this design, all the cobble was really meant to be iron block. And since if we're doing this competition where no duping is allowed, we couldn't do iron block. There's just no way to mine that much iron. So we use cobble instead. And I think it looks really good. It gives more rustic look to it because they're not going to be doing iron block in the real Coliseum either. Across the way, you'll see the Emperor's box kind of lit up and glowing. That's a really neat thing, and we'll get a close up of that here in a little bit. But the stadium seating, all stone slabs. It's just a massive design, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, and one of the big things about this is you had to be perfect with laying each block, because if you were off just by one, then an entire floor would be off, and it's thousands of blocks and hours taken to even just make one level of this massive Coliseum. So a lot of meticulous work had to be done, so a lot of props to our team for making sure it was perfect, and it really just turned out awesome.
Oh yeah, it was painstaking work because there's so much counting involved trying to make sure everything was just exactly right. So here's the Emperor's box. You'll see the white wool, the light gray wool. White wool was diamond block, light gray, or white wool was iron block, light gray was diamond block. You'll see the wood was natural. You also see some the torches in the floor with the glass. You saw the little hot tub back there, or a footwell for cleaning your feet. But this was all meant to be diamond and iron block. And this is where the Emperor would view the matches from in the arena, in relative comfort, of course, with his slaves fawning him and everything. You saw how it glows well at night. It really has a really nice feel to it. Up top, I should start looking up there here in just a moment. It's supposed to be leaf blocks, but we don't have shears in this version of Minecraft on Xbox, so we had to find something to substitute. And I thought about using green wool. That just didn't look right, so we used the moss stone from all the spawners we found on the map, and I think that looks well. Eventually when we do get the update for shears and pistons, I'll probably replace those with the leaf blocks, but I do like the look the moss stone gives. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and the moss stone's just kind of like, it's a precious stone just because you can only find it in dungeons, so we felt that it was suiting to put it in an Emperor's box.
Sure. You'll also notice, down in there in the glass blocks, there are torches below there, and that's what helps illuminate this at night and gives it that nice glow without having torches hanging everywhere. There's only 4 really visible torches in the box. Everything else is from below, and that helps give it a really luminous effect. So I think now we're going to be heading down towards the north side of the Coliseum, and we have a couple projects out there. One of them, you'll see in the background there, is the Arch of Constantine. That is an addition. It's meant to go with this Coliseum, and it's a pretty small one, but it looks good. It's a neat looking project. It's pretty easy to build, and you also notice that there's a road that comes to and goes all the way around the Coliseum, and we added that to this project as well. We thought it was really nice. It gives it a nice appeal, and the Coliseum has 4 entrances in every cardinal direction, north, south, east, and west, and so we put those entrances on there, and the road just kind of circles around, and it looks pretty good that way.
Yep, so now you'll start to notice our other big project, which is a absolutely massive black sheep. We had a huge trouble finding wool at the beginning, so we decided to basically build a shrine to the black sheep. And if anyone's a member on BHL, they'll know that the image of a black sheep is kind of just like a joke and something that you'll typically see around BHL.
Yep, Jixer and Scaffoldler, they are the I don't know what you call them. I guess the holders of the Black Sheep domain, and it's a revered rank to be given by those guys. And this thing was massive. 1,800 blocks of black wool alone for this. A total of over 2,000 black wool. And and it took a while to build. We have a time lapse of this that eventually we'll put up on the channel, so you can watch us build it in real time, kind of sped up. It was a fun project to build, and made some design changes to this. I looked at everybody else's, how they did sheep. I didn't like it really well. I kind of modified it, and but it's hollow, completely hollow. We try to conserve as much wool as possible. And there you have the black sheep fountain in the lake. And we're going to move on to the Pantheon. Before we do that, you'll see that every once in a while you'll see a large tree, much larger than normal. That is by design. And what you do is you stack dirt 4 or 5 blocks high, plant the sapling, hit it with some bone meal, come down, take out the dirt, and add wood logs, and that'll give you some taller trees, so you can have some variety. Because, not all the oak saplings or any tree saplings will grow to that really big, nice height. So sometimes you have to improvise and make them bigger yourself.
Yep, so right now we're heading into the Pantheon, and the cool thing about the Pantheon is all of the glowstone. Glowstone is one of my favorite items, and it just really illuminates the room. So as we head in here, you'll notice that all of it's built with glowstone stone, and we also used blue wool and yellow wool. The design called for gold and it called for diamond, but the problem with that is we obviously could not supply that, so we thought it created a good contrast with using these materials.
Yeah, it is. It's a really striking design. Yeah, I'm not so much about the exterior is nice, but it's a little plain. When you get inside, it really starts brightening up, and the design on the ceiling, the glass up at the top, you have the fountain inside, and it really this is a temple for worshiping the Roman gods, is what the Pantheon is designed for, and it's really fitting. It's a great design. It's pretty easy to build, not too big. It's about 4,000 stone, and then all the other associated blocks to go with it. But it's a neat complement to the Coliseum as well, and pretty easy to do. Not bad.
Yeah, so I think we're going to be heading out of the Pantheon soon and moving on to our next project. And we kind of used the Coliseum as a focal point for all of our other builds, just because we wanted it to be centrally located in one area as opposed to larger buildings that don't really coordinate with each other. So we just use the Coliseum, and then we'll be heading over to our next build, which is a Roman theater.
Yes, the theater. You'll see another tree grove that was purposely built. This is next to the tools, so this is on the what I call the southwest corner of the Coliseum, and this one is sandstone, stone, and you'll see some cobble, not much. We also have the roads going to it on both entrances. It has the theater-style seating. It has a multiple-level stage. And it also has a play featuring Zen and Rabbit doing Romeo and Juliet. And maybe you'll be able to catch a snippet of that later on in the video. You never know.
It might not have been the greatest acting, but we'll let you guys be the judge.
I heard the audience members kind of got involved with that.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is the seating section of the theater, and we'll be heading down into the inside of the theater, which is totally maneuverable. I believe I'm just going to take a shortcut here, but you can get from the bottom up to the other layers. And right here is the second layer, and we'll be heading up to the third layer. And it's really cool just because it actually is capable of putting on a full-out play if you were interested in that kind of thing. So.
Oh yeah. The layout is actually really cool. You have the side stages over there. You have the middle platform, all 3 levels, and you could have people coming in and out and dressing up in costumes. Once they get the skin packs on, that'd be pretty neat to do, to have the different costumes. So yeah, it's really well designed. I really like that design. It's nice. I think we're going to be heading back into our housing district because there is a way to travel to our next project in the basement of one of our houses. And one of the things about traveling in Minecraft, if you're not going to use minecarts above ground, is that another way to do it would be to use Nether portals. So we built a neat little room to house our Nether portal fast travel system, and that is this house right here. So you have to drop down a little hole. He's going to go upstairs first. So you'll see we've got a nice king-size bed, artwork by the beds, and really nice design. That's a stair steps that he used to that. And then you drop down the hole, and ouch! I think you just got hit with some arrows. What happened there, Mung?
We basically booby-trapped that area to have dispensers rigged to a pressure pad behind lava walls, so you get hit with some flaming arrows as you try to sneak over into our Nether portal.
Well, luckily we play on peaceful, so you'll heal immediately. But if you were playing on easy or hard, boy, you'd be taking some serious damage there. So now that we're in the Nether, we built a minecart track to link two Nether portals together, and Mung's going to jump on this minecart track and take us over to the other portal, and we'll get over to our castle.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go there and go back just to kind of load our Nether again, just because it didn't really load, and it's kind of cool to see the Nether. Nether's one of my favorite places. I don't know. I just think it's cool with the glowstone and the lava everywhere, so I decided to take an extra trip.
It's cool. Yeah, you had some unloaded chunks there, so the Nether is very cool. And this is way up top on the Nether is this next portal that we're going to. So you see it's a very steep climb up, and now you're near the very top of the Nether.
Yep.
So he's gonna get out here and head through the portal, and we're gonna end up under an interesting structure. We'll have to take a look and see what this is.
Da 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 da. It's my throne, and then I like to go all out and go extra big, so my fat ass can sit on a chair. But Zen over there, he gets the little lady throne, and sometimes I like to feed him a little pork chop if he does a good job.
Well, yeah, I do try to eat well, so pork chops are good for me. You know, the throne for your big fat ass works well. I like my small throne. You know, I'll take my cobble throne any day.
Yeah.
So this is our castle. And this is the throne room. You'll see that while Mungvin does a dance, we're going to come back down. You'll see we have a dining room table with a ceiling fan. Our jukebox over there in the corner. The floor is done in white and light blue wool. Some bookcases, and pretty basic. But here's the courtyard. We've got our fountain surrounded with netherrack. More very, very tall custom trees. You'll see the turrets on the corners have netherrack in them flaming on fire. When it lights up at night, it's pretty cool. You'll notice that those are really tall trees. I branched those out. It took several tries to get that one big tree to branch out and to become large. And so as a matter of standing on 5 blocks of dirt and planting a sapling, didn't go big, take it down, wait for the trees to decay, do it again. We also built some shops in the side here. This is my smithing shop. You'll see I have a furnace and some dispensers in there. And then we're going to go to Rabbit's snack shop. Nom 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 nom. And Rabbit has some food in there. We want to talk about the food?
Yeah, so we added some pork chops, some bread. Zen's making us a couple cakes to make sure that we got some cakes in there. And that's really cool because all you need is a button with a dispenser, and you basically have your own snack shop. So you can basically just push a button, and you'll be getting all the foods that you need.
Yeah, you know, fighting creepers and zombies all day, you need to have food readily available, otherwise you will die quickly. So it's nice to have food. Nuckin Futz's Sky Tours shop had trouble paying the bills, and he got evicted. So he decided to set his place on fire rather than let them get anything out of it.
Classic cheap Nuckin.
So here you go. This is a new shop here on the block, and it's Dirt Diggler's Black Ops 2 beta code shop. You must message on Xbox Live for the code. That's Dirk Diggler XXX. And you might have seen, oh, there's a beta code. Be sure to write that down. It might work.
Yeah, and that's only one of 100 that he has, so be sure to hit him up with some messages as we go back and check out ourselves our brand new cake in Rabbit's shop.
Oh, it's a good looking cake too, I must say. I think it's pretty tasty.
Square cake is my favorite kind of cake.
You'll also see that we've made some other design touches. We need to go see the pirate ship before we go upstairs. So why don't you stop and come down with me? We're going to go see our ship. We made a nice wooden ship, kind of docked it up next to the castle. And it's pretty cool. I put sails on. I tried to make it look as much like a pirate ship as possible. And there's a captain's quarters. You can go up on the steerage deck, and you'll notice that it seems like we're a little above ground. And we're not on a mountain, folks. This is a sky castle, if you haven't figured it out. And you'll see more of that here in just a moment. As we go back out, you also notice that we had some names in the sea. We decided to put our names in wool, and here is Mungvin going to be looked down at the names. So there's all of our names. You can see that we have a waterfall. The castle's actually hanging in the sky. And you'll see some islands off to the side as well. We wanted to design this kind of after Avatar. If y'all seen the movie Avatar, where they kind of islands are just kind of ripped out and hanging in the air, that's the kind of look we were going for. The names Jayhawk designed for us, and they were absolutely massive. They were a lot bigger than we thought they'd be. So Mung kind of offset his and forgot to move it over. So we'll get a better shot of his name here in just a little bit.
Yeah, so making a sky island is not as easy as it sounds. You can't just dig up and then start making a big old block of dirt and expect everything to start looking great. The one thing that is crucial to making a sky island is you want to have grass on it. And the only way to have grass growing on your sky island is to have it connected to a spot that has grass. So we basically had to build this tall grass staircase all the way up to here, and let me tell you, watching grass grow is way worse than watching paint dry.
Oh, I'd rather watch golf for 6 weeks straight than watch this grass grow. It was insanely boring. For some other things, the castle here, there's no schematic for this. This is all freeform. I, picked a certain level that I wanted to go to, built up, and made a big square. I think it's like 60 by 60 square. Then I had to jut out and make the square edges more rounded, look more like natural land. And then after that, only then could we build this underside. The underside kind of makes it look like it was ripped out of the ground. And this was very hard to do because when you're building under and in, you have to kind of really work slow. Otherwise, you're going to be falling into the ocean a lot. So another thing that we did is we had extra glowstone left over from the Pantheon project. So Mung came in and dug out some spots, took out some stone, and added that glowstone into the stone under the sky island, and that really lit it up. Because one thing we noticed is that when you have all of that shadowed, you're not going to see the relief and the real beauty of the underside of this thing without some lights down there, and the torches just don't look right. So the glowstone really lights it up nicely.
Yeah, it allows you to see all of the texture and detail that we even put into the bottom of the project, which most people would typically overlook, and we thought that it really helps bring out the character of the island.
Yep, so this is the underside of the island. You'll see right there is where we had the grass steps going from ground level all the way up, and then we connected little side ones for the other sky islands. But this is our sky castle, and it was a blast to build. It was a lot of fun, and it took a long time. This is probably close to 8,000 to 10,000 stone for this whole project, with the underside and the top slabs, everything else. So we went through a lot of materials on this. So I think we're going to go back up top here in just a few seconds, and we're going to take a look at the names from above, and so you can see all of our names in all of their glory. And it looks like it got a little dark. I think we're going to be sleeping here a little bit just to get back to daylight, and so we can see everything in much better view.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab this egg before we get ready to sleep.
Oh, you missed. You're a bad throw.
Yeah, I was hoping a chicken would spawn out and quack at you or something.
I've had it where I threw an egg at a chicken one time and it spawned 5 chickens right next to it. It was just bizarre. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, so now that we're sleeping. And another thing is this seed rained constantly. We were constantly just dealing with rain, and rain is one of the most annoying and painful things. So whenever we could, we try and sleep through the night or just get past the rain just because we were sick of it.
Oh yeah, rain and clouds. When you're building really high projects, like a sky castle or the Coliseum, clouds start to get in the way, and while they're not too bad now, when you're building, it's hard to see through them. So here's the names of our project. You have BHL Ryan, you got BHL X Jayhawk, and Rap and Rabbit. Those are 3 of our teammates. BHL Jayhawk, you see the colors there. He is a Patriot, a BHL Patriot. There's there are donators on our site, and the Patriot is our highest level donator. We have 2 of those guys, Manson and Jayhawk, and they really help support BHL a lot. We're going to come around to the front now and take a look at the other 3 names of our other 3 teammates that worked on this project, and I'll let Mung go over those.
Alright, so we got the Zen Geek, and he has his red plus to show that he's an administrator. Me, Mungovan, with the white plus to show that I'm management team, and Nuckin Futz, who is an advisor on our site. So that's why you see the reds the yellows, the white, and the blue. It just distinguishes the different ranks on BHL.
Yep, and you'll notice some other design touches we did here on the Sky Castle. We have our little glowstone lamps, which again work better than torches. It has more of an aesthetic appeal. What you do is you just get a block of glowstone, stick some fence posts under it, and put some trapdoors on it, and you get a lantern style look, and it's really clean and neat. Not bad, you know.
Yeah, so I think now we're going to hop off the island and give you a underside view of it, so you could see all of the texture and how it really looks like as this massive sky castle just floating in the sky.
Oh yeah, and it really looks amazing from underneath. You know, all you've seen is the interior, and I think Mung, you bastard, pushed me off there like that.
Oh,
look at that. Okay, so once we get above water, here we go. Dun dun dun. There it is. And we're going to go out a bit of a distance so you can get the whole thing in the detail. You'll see the other side, smaller side islands out to the side as well. And you see the pirate ship docked to it. We did the names hovering over the water. Kind of gave almost a little bit of a drop shadow effect, which I thought was pretty cool. And it also doesn't mess up your water by putting currents in it if you ever want to take it down, because those can be sometimes a pain to get rid of.
oh yeah, and I just hate random currents just because it just ruins the look of like the still water.
Absolutely. So I think I'm going to build up a tower and take a look at it, and I think you're just going to sit here on the ground. You don't like getting, you're afraid of heights for whatever
I always
reason.
have
I'm
bad
not
luck
sure.
at falling off towers.
You forget to crouch. But there it is. So we got 4 smaller surrounding islands. We had a 5th one that was way in the back in the middle. I had to take it out when we were doing the names because it was going to block the view. But there is our sky castle in all its glory. And you notice the waterfall coming off. That is actually connected to the fountain in the middle of the sky castle. And it's like the runoff that comes off.
Alright, so to make all this possible, we needed spawners. And now I'm going to cut to... We found many. I think we found close to 5 or 6 spawners. But what I'm going to be showing you is one of each. You're going to get to see a spider spawner. You're going to get to see a skeleton and a zombie. So you get one of each if you were to play this seed. And before we do that, since our skeleton spawner is right by our sugarcane farm, we thought we'd show you that real quick. So now we're in our spider spawner. You can see the coordinates there. And then we're going to be jumping over to our zombie spawner in a second. Alright, so we're at our zombie spawner, and we're at X82, Y24, and Z, -243. And then we'll be popping into our last skeleton spawner, which is at X297, Y51, and Z negative something, because my video stopped.
Well, it's 298.
Alright guys, that comes to the conclusion of our Minecraft competition world. We really hope you guys enjoyed and appreciated these epic creations. The team of Zen, Jayhawk, Nuckin, Rabbit, Ryan, and I worked hours every single night to make this world possible. If you are looking to check out these maps in person or want to find a group of guys to game with to create a map like this of your own, then sign up to BHLGaming.com. It's a totally free site created by gamers for gamers. Thanks.